All right, buddy. It's the week 4 tier maker. You ready to do this?
1 second.
Did you just use
Yep.
smelling salts?
Yeah, stuff really works.
If you say so. Oh my god, we did it!
I got everything I need right here.
This is the show, guys.
It wasn't supposed to be this time.
It's in your size. There we go. What are you talking about? This is exactly how we drew it up.
No, hold on. We can start.
They blocked the kick.
Ooh, just win, baby.
Sorry I missed your funeral last week. I heard you died.
Nah, we got this. How about them Chiefs? Damn you, Shanahan.
Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to the Week 4 Progress Report Tier Maker episode of the Trajan Temple Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler and Kansas City Chiefs fanatic Christian Temple, joined alongside, as always, by the freshly returned from Ireland, terrible towel twirling Trajan. I guess you could say that was a pretty successful business trip this weekend.
It was very successful. A little stressful towards the end, but very successful.
Well, you know what? We're not going to waste any time. Let's go ahead and talk about it now. Just how stressful do you think this game was here? As you can see, the Steelers taking care of business 24-21. But I'll let you tell your side of the story. But that fourth quarter there looks kind of interesting to me. Not going to lie.
A little too close for comfort. We blew some things up in the fourth quarter. Overall, this was a very good game for the Steelers. I mean, we scored in every single quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't happen that often. But I mean, it had a lot of things to like. I mean, just the numbers don't look crazy, but it was very efficient.
Is this the biggest thing to like? The number 4?
Number four.
quite, quite
Maybe.
literally, probably the biggest thing to like in this game.
So 18 for 22 for Aaron Rodgers, 200 yards passing, one touchdown, no interception. Kenneth Gainwell had himself a day. 99 yards rushing, two touchdowns. And DK Metcalf, mwah, chef's kiss. Five receptions, 126 yards, most of those in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whew, we did a whole season's worth of big plays there.
He caught all of his targets.
Uh, he got some targets, and that's what we need. Um, the biggest thing is maybe some questionable play calling towards the end of the game. You had this decision to maybe go for it, and Tomlin takes a timeout. They're rushing up on the ball. Probably shouldn't have took it there. We ended up punting it with like 9 yards or 6 yards, or not 9 yards, 9 inches or
Mm-hmm.
6 inches to the first down.
Easy to get
We punt
confused.
it, but we go for it on um on first, I don't know, fourth and four
Mm-hmm.
on the red in the red zone.
Yep.
So a lot less of a chance to get in there. And we did a run play on a 4 yard run play at the goal line. I don't like it. We score a field goal there. A lot of things are avoidable towards the end. We would have had him go down the whole length of the field towards the end instead of scaring us with a defensive effort. To start out though, we get some action right away. So their running back fumbles it. Ramsey
Mm-hmm.
picks it up, runs into the end zone. Touchdown. I'm excited. They zoom up on it. I'm like, oh my gosh. He was out of bounds and touched the ball first.
Yep.
Dead ball. So, but we came up big. We scored a touchdown. We got a touchdown, interception, a blocked field goal. I haven't seen one of those happen to Boswell for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, They got a field goal at the end of the half there, put it 14-6. We got another touchdown in the third. At fourth quarters where it got interesting. We got a field goal. They got a touchdown. Over on downs, like I said, they got a touchdown out of it. Had to punt. That was that 6-inch deal.
Mm-hmm.
Turnover downs in the game with victory formation. Overall, good victory. Ireland got a good game.
Mm-hmm.
That helps. I mean, NFL's trying to get overseas, and they got to see a nail biter. I will say it was pretty much like a home game for us, though.
I probably wouldn't disagree with
Rooting
that.
from Ireland, it was probably 60% Steelers.
I'd probably give you that. Yep.
So, what did you have to think about this game?
Well, I just have one question. Do you think if anyone else was at quarterback besides Carson Wentz, do you think they might have actually gone down the field, did something at the end? Because he tried to hand that game on a silver platter at least 3 different times until finally it just one that just went through at the last drive. And a guy that throws 2 touchdowns and 350 yards usually does pretty good, but that 6 sacks for 48 yards lost, that's a pretty damning statement of the offensive line, how beat up they are on the Minnesota side of things. Justin Jefferson doing Justin Jefferson things. That 15-3 scoring differential in the fourth quarter, that was absolutely hilarious. It's like your team disappeared, like the terrible towel has disappeared on my screen here. Perfect metaphor. But no, it's one of those deals where you guys, you had a commanding lead, and you kind of went into cruise control. You did just enough to hang on. And, Minnesota, I didn't think was going to be as dominant as they were last week because, let's face it, the Bengals are awful right now. I figured you guys would put up a better fight, and that you did. It was an efficient day for Aaron Rodgers of 18-22. Gainwell, as you said, had himself a day. But, yeah, DK Metcalf, he was definitely the workhorse of your offense on that game. So, congrats to you. Big win, I would say, on the road, but that was a home game. A big win overseas. And you guys are sitting at 3-1, and it's probably got to feel pretty good right now.
I will say, though, to the point of Carson Wentz, maybe someone else being better, he was hurting. Every time he was getting up in that fourth quarter, he was grabbing his ribs and getting up slowly. He was getting hit on every single play almost.
It wasn't. It didn't seem fair. It just didn't seem fair. All right. Well, speaking of not fair, let's talk about the afternoon game that happened here. It was between two 1-2 teams, both desperate for a win, but at the end of the day, it came down to the one that was the hungriest and showed up the best, and that is, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's hear Kingdom, biggest win of the year so far. How about those Chiefs? If you would have asked me, or if you would have told me that we would have beat the Baltimore Ravens by a 3-score margin this week, I don't care about how many injuries they had. I probably would not have believed it. But that just goes to show how bad we were really missing Xavier Worthy, because getting him back opened up so much more on the offense. I even think it opened up some confidence back in Pat Mahomes, not having to rely on Tyquan Thornton and Travis Kelce. He's actually got options now. Good efficient day for him. I mean, good God, it's been a minute since I've seen him do 4 touchdowns in a single game. 25 of 37, 270 yards. Great day for him. It was enough to win AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so hats off to him for that. Going down to as I mentioned, Xavier Worthy. Not only was he our leading receiver, but he was actually our leading rusher too. Probably because the biggest one was that the end around play. No one a jet sweep, it was an end around for 35 yards, but also 83 yards receiving. And funny enough, he didn't get a touchdown this week. That honor went to Juju, Hollywood, Tyquan, and believe it or not, Isaiah Pacheco. Slow start coming into this game. Baltimore driving down the field and getting a touchdown right off the bat. We respond with a field goal, so at least we got points there too. Probably one of the coolest interceptions I've seen in a while. Nick Bolton coming up the middle, forcing pressure on Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson doing what he does best under pressure, throws up a prayer in the air, and Leo Chanel. He's gotten tired of being known for blocking field goals. Now he's being known for one-handed interceptions, because that was a hell of a pick against Mark Andrews there. Completely swung the momentum around in Casey's favor, gives them a 17-point swing in the second quarter, which gives them a 20-10 lead going into halftime. And at this point, I'm like, wow, this is not what I would have expected. I probably have expected to be tied at halftime or us trailing by a score and even maybe up by one score. But we're up by 2 scores. Ravens offense don't look great. They only gave Derrick Henry 8 carries all game. And I'm just flabbergasted by that.
Do you think they've lost confidence?
I, they mentioned it was, Ronnie Staley, right? Was one of their offensive linemen that I think was down. Is that right?
It sounds right.
I think that's right too. So it's just maybe they didn't trust their blocking in front of him. Maybe they thought Lamar could make plays with his arm. Because if we're looking back at it too, like we look back at the Ravens, the Ravens and Bills and the Ravens and Lions, Lamar was putting up a decent amount of points. Derrick Henry, he had his runs too. I wonder if maybe those fumbles did put something in their head. Maybe they don't want to risk it, even though by doing so they put too much pressure on Lamar. And what does Lamar do? Not only does he throw interception, but he fumbles by running into his own lineman. Once again, gifting Chiefs another extra possession and another touchdown. Got to see a Cooper Rush sighting. Did. For the life of me, I still thought he was a Dallas Cowboy. I didn't even know he went to the Baltimore Ravens. Like, I hear Cooper Rush, first thing I think, Dallas Cowboy backup.
Nope. Man.
Yep. Liked what I saw out of Juju and Hollywood. I think they were good in the depth. Tyquan Thornton, showing last week wasn't a fluke, got himself another touchdown. I think he's got the most touchdowns for our receivers this year so far. I think he's sitting at 4 right now. I can't remember. It might be 4 or 5. I can't remember for sure. But yeah, offense, defense, that was a full team effort here too. Lamar Jackson going down with a hamstring injury late in the third quarter. But by that point, I think the game was pretty much out of reach. Funny thing about the Hollywood Brown touchdown, it was on 4th down, and Andy Reid going for the kill shot. I watched that play back, and for some reason in real time, I thought he was throwing for Juju and just completely overthrew him. I did not realize Hollywood was towards the back of the end zone already, and he was throwing to him, and he was wide open too. So it was a perfect play call to ice the game there. But as I mentioned, this was a game that Kansas City really needed. This was a great confidence booster here against last year's MVP and against a team that won a playoff game last year. And this was the kind of game that you needed to get yourself back on track, and we'll see how that carries on next week for Monday Night Football against the Jags.
Yeah, no, definitely. Now, the question is, do you think you still would have won if Lamar was healthy?
At that rate, I think so.
Okay.
I think Lamar, if his hamstring, which honestly that crossed my mind, it's like, is he really hurt? And then it was announced that he's going to be out for maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I was like, okay, yeah, I guess he is. But it seemed like his confidence was just shot. I mean, you could see it on the sideline. Like, I'm pretty sure there was at least 2 or 3 instances where he took his helmet off and either like threw it angrily or just like tossed it to the side, just done with the day. But I mean, that's the deal. Like the Chiefs defense came to play. They kept a spy on Lamar the whole time. That's why you didn't really see him get comfortable in the pocket or try to make plays or run. And I guess they just didn't really care to give Derrick Henry more than 10 carries today. They only gave him 8. So that's on them at that point. The defense just had to do what they're supposed to, and they did it well.
I'm just loving all these chants for Harbaugh to be fired. I love it.
It's that time of year already, huh?
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, speaking of that time of year, it is now time for the Week 4 progress report. And as you can see here, we have the tier maker. It is the same setup as last year. We have 5 categories, the top being the Super Bowl, which will only go to 2 teams, one of the AFC and one of the NFC. We have playoff contender. These are teams that we believe are going to be in the running for their division, thus making them a playoff contender. We have the teams that are meh, the ones that, aren't terrible, but also aren't great. They're still trying to figure things out. We've got blah. These are the teams that things are not looking good for them right now, but, maybe not all hope is lost. And then you've got straight up trash, where things are probably not looking good and probably not going to get much better. So, we are going to start with the Detroit Lions. And Trajan, I'll let you have the floor to start with this one.
Well, I think it's obvious for this one. They are Super Bowl favorites.
Wow. Okay. I figured we would
Week
say
one is a liar,
okay.
but it was
Okay.
also a divisional game, which is always the toughest.
Boy,
And
howdy.
since that loss, they have done amazing. And I think they're just getting better. So I think Detroit's the team to watch out for in the NFC.
Guess I can't really doubt that too. Yeah, besides the Packers game too. They killed the Bears, they outlasted the Ravens, and they just dominated the Browns, but man, do we really do that? And what about the Eagles? Do we think they would be up there too?
I haven't seen enough from their offense.
Well, we'll talk about them here momentarily, but right off the bat, we're going Detroit Lions for Super Bowl contender, and the way things have been rolling for them, it may not be a bad bet against. Speaking of not a bad bet, and I hate doing this every single time, but there's really, I mean, I can't really find mostly any chink in their armor. It seems like they are firing on all cylinders because they had not only the comeback win against the Ravens, they dominated the Jets. They looked a little mortal against the Dolphins, but I think they were just in cruise control, and eventually they took advantage of a mistake and just rode right past. Had no problems against the Bills, and I don't think they'll have any problems against the Patriots. Give me the Bills as the AFC Super Bowl contender, and I hate doing it every single time too because it always seems like this, and then the playoffs come by, and then it might be a different story. But so far, they look like the most complete AFC team to me.
And if that happens, the apocalypse comes.
Absolutely. All right, what you got for the Minnesota Vikings?
Oh, they are, I believe, meh.
Hmm.
They're a quarterback away from playoff contenders.
I gotcha.
That's
Yep.
what I believe.
They had the nail biter against the Bears where they came back and won. They choked. They out falconed the Falcons somehow, but then they come back the next week with a top defensive performance against the Bengals, and then they almost come back against you guys. I mean, yeah, I think this team is still trying to figure things out, so I think I agree with you there. Alrighty. Now we on to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs starting off the season 0-2, getting back-to-back multi-possession wins. I think I've got them up at playoff contender. I think they're finally starting to hit their stride, and the way the things are going on with the Chargers right now, I think it's still their division to lose right now. I'm thinking Chiefs are heading for the AFC West again, which would be nice to turn this little 9 on my chest to a perfect 10.
Chargers have one stumble, and you think that it's a downward slope.
Hey, we've seen worse from them. But enough about that. It's time to talk about your team, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
What do you think?
Well, it's definitely not Super Bowl.
Before the season, we were the strongest team of the North.
Oh, God.
During the season, we're the strongest team of the North. Ravens are downward spiral. Browns are the Browns, and Bengals, they don't know how to protect a quarterback. So, playoff contenders.
9-8 division winners. I can't believe this is actually going to happen.
13-4, my friend. 13-4.
Alrighty. Well, you mentioned the downward spiral, and I think I'm going to have to agree. The Baltimore Ravens, I'm going to put them in meh right now, too. I honestly, there's probably a case that we could put them in bleh. I think the injuries are more of a hindrance of anything too. So we may check back with them on week 8, and they may be 2-6 for all we know, or 2-5. I don't know
I
if they have a
mean,
bye week or not. So.
Lamar out 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. It's a very
That's pretty
unsteady
tough.
it's a very unsteady meh that could very quickly turn into a blast. So we will monitor the situation and go from there. Houston Texans, what you got?
I think they're straight trash right now.
Oh really? Oh man.
They have not looked good. Stroud has what we thought was maybe a sophomore slump just looks like maybe he was a 1 year wonder.
It's starting to look that way
I
too.
mean, I just I have not seen enough of them. This is not week. I mean, year one, Stroud Texans. Last year they barely got by because of a weak division. It's actually looking to be a strong division.
Insane, right? Besides the
I
Titans.
mean, you got the Colts and Jags and Titans. Yeah, they're ass,
See, that's the
quote
deal. Is like
unquote.
that. I figured you'd probably go blah only because they completely shut out the Titans. But then again, the Titans really have nothing to write home for. So we're going Houston trash. Alrighty, we'll ride with that now. Um, this one is interesting. It's the Green Bay Packers who, basically dominated the Lions. They, ride past the Commanders, and then they drop a confusing one to the Browns, and then they tie against the Cowboys. I just,
A
I
Cowboys that have been struggling, not a good Cowboys team, a
exactly.
struggling
It
Cowboys
it just
team.
seemed it just seems like the Packers just took a complete 180. So I'm thinking on the same level as the Vikings. I'm gonna put them as meh, but it's also very an unsteady meh because like you take those 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks, those most recent 2 weeks, it's two totally different teams, and this was a team that was touted to be, you know, pretty heavily favored, especially after the Micah Parsons trade. So Green Bay, I don't know what they are right now. Kind of similar to the Vikings, I guess. They'll just have to hang out with each other until they figure it out.
Yep, no, I don't disagree with you there. Eagles, we got them at bleh. No, I'm just
You got me with that. Well played. You got me with that one.
I mean, they're playoff contenders. What
Absolutely.
I don't see is enough of their offense. Their defense is good.
Hmm.
They have the ability to go off with Saquon. Um, I hate to be the guy who's saying Jalen Hurts is not doing enough, but he's not doing enough.
I hear that. It seems like they're of the team that's like they take their foot off the gas, they let teams back in it, and I mean if it isn't for other teams tripping over themselves, I mean I'll even throw my team in that too. The Chiefs had their opportunities, and the only reason they lost was because of that tipped ball by Kelsey right into the defender's hands. They had a chance to win in that game. Same with the Buccaneers. Buccaneers had a chance to drive down the field. Baker Mayfield end zone interception there. Yeah, I would agree. The Eagles, I'd almost an argument could be made. You could switch the Lions and the Eagles for Super Bowl, but right now I think the Lions are finding their step. Eagles, they're not in trouble by any means, but
I think they're a cruise control team.
there you go. I would say so too. But cruise control is probably good enough in that division to easily win the East.
Oh my God.
But moving on to the West now, we've got the Los Angeles Rams, and my gosh, I'm looking at this division, and how in the world is every team 500 and better? This is
Crazy.
just bizarro world right now. I'm thinking the Rams are probably still my favorite to win the division. The best ability is availability, and the 49ers are just in constant injury hell. Seahawks, I just haven't seen enough from them yet to really crown them as favorites of the NFC West. And the Cardinals had opportunities, but they just Marvin Harrison, he's got to get hot at the right time. Cardinals just lost, I think, Trey Benson for a few weeks, so there's two running backs that are down, and you can't put it all on Kyler because Kyler just can't carry this team all by himself, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Rams, they're looking good. Matt Stafford's putting up great numbers. Puka Nacua looks unstoppable,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got what's his name, Adams,
Tutu Atwell and Devontae Adams, yeah.
looking good. He looks like a younger self in Tutu well. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, no, they're gonna be a feisty team.
Mm-hmm.
They could go on a run here, and they could be Super Bowl favorites
I,
from the
I
NFC.
could have them as a dark horse pick pretty easily, I'd say.
Yep. Well, we got the commies, and they're blah. They're beat up right now. They're not
Mm.
looking that good. I thought they were going to be the playoff contender type team this year, but it's just not looking that good.
And the season's
And
still young. I mean, I think they could bounce back and maybe potentially fight for a wild card spot. It's still the Eagles' division through and through, I think. But no, you're right about the injuries. You're battling that early. It's kind of a tough hole to dig yourself out of.
yeah, no, it'll be interesting.
Sitting at 2-2 right now, so all hope is not lost yet. But moving on to, I mean, this is pretty much the incumbent NFC South winners here too, because I don't know what Atlanta is, I don't know what Carolina is, and New Orleans, we all know what they are. So just for by default, even though Baker, was not clutch and nearly blew it the week before against the Jets. Got I got to put Tampa as playoff contender because I really don't think the Falcons and Carolina is going to be up there competing for that division.
I mean, yeah, no, I agree. All right. So we got future AFC West champions here, the LA Chargers. And gosh, I'm going to go ahead and say that the Giants game was kind of a fluke
Okay.
because you see it, you get the backup quarterback in and they go and get a win. What do they do next week? They bomb terribly. So I'm going to go ahead and say Chargers are still playoff contenders,
Mm-hmm.
but they got to watch themselves because that just looks eerily similar as same old Chargers.
Exactly. I don't disagree with you because when it comes down to it, I think the AFC West is going to come down to probably these two teams, maybe even the Broncos. We'll see. But I do see the Chargers actually getting at least a wild card spot at the very least if they don't somehow find a way to take this division. If the Chiefs aren't getting into full swing, which it seems like they are. You got a big thumbs up next to your head there, apparently, huh? Giving yourself a self high five there. I see ya.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, kind of already mentioned this too. Falcons. I don't know who you are. You're weird. You destroyed the Vikings. You get shut out by the.
If you get shut out by the Panthers, you're
you get,
trash.
you
I'm
get you
sorry.
get shut up by the Panthers. I mean, you take a win, you steal a win against the Commanders, although they were pretty injured. You hold on and you barely lose to the Buccaneers. I just don't know what to think. So I'm going bleh for the Falcons at least for the time being.
No, definitely. Oh, so we got Bengals.
Mm.
And this is going to warm your heart just as much as it warms mine. They straight ass. Ah.
Should make another category for them.
I mean, they knew their weakness was offensive line, and they still haven't fixed it. I mean, did you see the clip of towards the end where Denver was only rushing three guys
Mm-hmm. And still getting
and
to.
still got a sack?
Yep.
I
Saw
mean,
that.
come on.
Saw that. Saw the clip of Jamar Chase going up to Zach Taylor, and yeah, it's things are not looking good in Bengals world. So
If TJ Watt doesn't break the sack record on the Bengals, it might be a miracle.
it might just be. Well, speaking of, we talked about the Bengals and who they played, the Denver Broncos, and I mean they beat up on a pretty bad team on Monday night. I'm sure that probably felt good to them. They barely escaped against the Titans in Week 1. They lost not only to the Colts but also to the Chargers. I've got the Broncos as meh right now. Bo Nix does not look like what he did last year. The only thing that's keeping Denver involved in this all too is their defense, and their defense is still as solid as they were last year. So I got to give them that. It's just that offense. It seems like they're having to rely on the defense giving them good possession, and Bo Nix he just doesn't look as comfortable as he did last year. So we'll see. They've got some good matchups coming up, including against the Philadelphia Eagles. I guess we're gonna really find out what this team is about here next week, and then they'll probably beat up on the Jets and Giants and get 2 more wins, and then they'll be right back at 500 again.
Well, I believe you are right.
I appreciate
Um,
that.
all right, we got the Seahawks, and we should have beat this team. But that was a rookie who messed us up. And I'm not just saying this because I'm bitter, but I believe they're a meh team.
Mm-hmm.
Meh. I don't know if I can trust them yet. I mean, they barely got by with. Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust them.
I kind of wish their biggest win point differential was against you guys, but unfortunately they played the Saints, so that was a bloodbath. So, but I agree that I think they're meh. I don't think they're terrible, but I don't think they're great. I still think it's the Rams division to lose. All right, I am shocked. I'm shocked about this team. This is not what I expected at all, especially when they announced that Daniel Jones would be starting quarterback. It's going to be a foot race between them and the Jaguars, but give me the Colts as playoff contenders. This is absolutely insane. They killed the Dolphins. They escape against the Broncos. They destroy the Titans. And if it wasn't for a stupid mistake by A. Mitchell, I think Colts might take that game against the Rams.
I mean, they could very well be 4-0. That, no doubt.
They've got a pretty favorable schedule coming up too.
So I mean, I like what they're doing. They look like a tough team, and hats off to them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's awesome for them.
Yep.
You know what's not awesome?
Whew.
How bad Miami is. They were my dark horse for playoff contention. Man. So much for those Tyreek Hill rumors on trades, because that's not happening now.
Nope.
Let's not beat around the bush anymore. They're trash.
Yeah. Congrats on your victory over the Jets. Now get out of my face.
Yeah, you stole one from the Jets, which is not saying much.
Alrighty. Well, speaking of not saying much, I don't think there's very much to say about the Cleveland Browns. They just announced they're starting Dylan Gabriel, so best of luck to you in your future endeavors, especially behind that O-line.
Yeah. But they're holding Shadir back. He should be the starter.
Well, if he went to the Ravens like he wanted to, he would have actually played some.
He would be a starter.
And he would be a starter right now.
Oh, so we got the Jags, and they look great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, their competition so far hasn't been amazing. Well, they look pretty good, and I'm going to say they're playoff contenders.
Yep, I was gonna say we are definitely going to revisit this come week 8 and see where the Colts and the Jaguars are in their positions too. And like I said, when I was looking at the schedules of the Colts, I think they've got a little bit more favorable matchups than the Jaguars. Jaguars have the Chiefs on Monday night, then they've got the Rams and London, which they usually do okay, and then it gets a little more easier. They got the Ravens and Texans afterwards, so it's gonna be Raiders and Texans after that. So yeah. It's going to be interesting here. So, but yep, we'll definitely keep an eye between these two teams and see who's got the advantage going into Week 8. Alrighty, and going to the Carolina Panthers. I'm so sorry, but even though you shut out the Falcons, they're still tripping and stumbling over themselves. I mean, they got destroyed by the Patriots. They couldn't beat the Cardinals, even though they tried coming back. And the Jaguars, took them behind the woodshed week 1. I said, honestly, you know what? I'm making an executive decision. Falcons, come on down here. You two stay together. You're both trash until we say otherwise.
Definitely. I agree. Well, I'm going to say Raiders bleh.
Yeah.
Not seeing much out of them.
A blocked kick away from maybe being meh, but
exactly. No, I can't. Yeah, I don't know.
That's they haven't looked good. Let's see here. They have not they have not broken 25 points this whole season. Yeah, that was actually absolutely hilarious the way they lost against Chicago. And it's like Chicago's not great. They've had like good moments. They're not great, and that should have been the Raiders' chance to maybe bounce back from things. But they made the Bears look like a world beaters, even still. But yeah, Raiders blah. But they're rocking a very thin line on the trash though.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, moving on to the New England Patriots. I would more than happy say trash, but I'm go blah for them.
I'd agree.
Sitting at 2-2, I mean, maybe they can move up to meh. They lost to the Raiders, though, week 1. They barely beat the Dolphins. They should have beat you guys if they didn't turn the ball over 5 times for that. I almost should knock them down to trash just for that. They've bounced back against the Panthers. They are going to get stomped by the Bills this week, most likely. So we'll keep them on blah and just see what happens from there.
Now, I would like to make a motion to rename trash the Saints. Because holy cow,
Man. Here we
they're
go.
terrible, and it's like they didn't even have a plan for this season. I mean, they announced their starting quarterback like week 1.
There it is. It is now officially Saints, and I put the Saints in the very first spot on their own row. On Saints Row, baby.
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, congratulations to the New York Giants getting the improbable win against the LA Chargers. I'm not going to put you at trash. I'll put you as blah for now.
I figured just for helping you guys out, you'd put them at mid.
I'll see what they do with Jackson Dart here too. Maybe that was just a flash in the pan. So, but I think we could both agree what the other New York team should be ranked at here.
Yeah, they're trash.
All right, which brings us to the Dallas Cowboys, who I still don't know what they are about, but they got a tie and they lost to the Bears. I'm thinking not trash yet, but very close, kind of blah.
Showed they can score some points. CD Lamb's out, but
Yeah,
their
they nearly lost to
pretty-
Russell Wilson. Nearly.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
I feel like Brandon Audrey's like the Chris Boswell of the team. He's like their number 1 player on offense.
Okay, they just need to get it to the 50 or the 40, and they scored a field goal.
They're good to go. Exactly.
So we got the Cardinals next. I'm putting them at meh. They are a winning record, like you alluded to, so I'll keep them there, but they are on thin ice.
And I'm thinking about the same thing with the 49ers. I'll put them at meh, but man, those injuries are really stacking up quickly, so we'll see how things turn out too. They're still 3-1, but that loss to the Jaguars might have been a very telling sign. They're listed as number 1 in their division, by the way, because I think they have the 2-0 divisional record, so hang on to that as much as you can, and hope and pray you get your players back quickly.
Yeah, it's not happening, at least with Kyle Shanahan. Now we have the last team, which is the Bears. And, a lot has been said about this team. A lot has been said about Caleb Williams, but they are looking better. And they beat the Cowboys, which makes them really good in my books. I'm putting them at meh.
Alrighty, I'll give you May on that too. And you know what? I'm making another executive decision. I'm filing a motion. We're changing to Saints to, as Cam Ward put it, ass.
Yes.
Actually, what was the quote? We ass. There we go.
Yes.
We ass.
We're back under it now.
So Saints, Texans, Bengals, Dolphins, Browns, Panthers, Falcons, Jets, Titans. Welcome to We Ass.
I like it.
Well, there we go. The Week 4 progress report is in the books now. We'd love to hear from you guys down below. Is there a team we rank too high? Is there a team we rank too low? Do you agree with the team that ranking we gave for your team? We'd love to hear from you. Leave us a comment down below. All right, Steelers on a bye week here. Gonna relax from the hangover of partying in Ireland over the weekend. And Kansas City taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Monday Night Football at Everbank Stadium. I can't believe the Jaguars have a better record than Kansas City coming into this game, but this is definitely another game where Kansas City can show what they can do on offense and defense. I think the Chiefs probably won't dominate them as much as they did the Ravens. I'll go a final score of 31-23. Chiefs take the win.
This is where I got you different. 27-21 in favor of the Jags.
I see. Well, we shall see who is right when it comes to Week 5 recap. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Click like if you enjoyed this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Leave a comment down below. Give us your thoughts on the tier maker. And we will catch you all next week. We're dropping the confetti over here, I see. Thank you, everybody, so much again. This is Temple and Trajan signing off.